Hello and welcome to a special edition of DMs with PM. I am your host, Oslin Crosby. I want to say welcome to all our listeners and viewers, listeners on Power FM, Star FM, We FM, GBN Fusion FM, Vibes FM, GIS, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to today's program. As I said, it is a special program. It is the 4th anniversary of Prime Minister, our featured guest, leadership in office as Prime Minister of Grenada. So today we are going to break from the script a bit, and we will share some of the recent achievements of government under the stewardship of Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell before we do something a little different too after the program. But we share it all with you once we're finished with some of the more recent achievements when we come back.
Open your eyes to a new Grenada. One that is poised to take off. A Grenada at the tip of the spear that leads into the future. Our vision for Grenada is holistic, and our actions are intended to be intentional and planned. People are the heartbeat of this nation. Our society must allow them to aspire and advance. We shall place people at the center of Vision 75 by prioritizing 5 main pillars of development that will create a prosperous and equitable society and a vibrant economy.
Health. Any vision for the future must start with our people, a healthy people. We intend to thrust the health sector to the forefront as an integral part of holistic development. The equation is quite simple. Healthy citizens equals productive citizens, and productive citizens equals more economic growth. Health is more than hospitals and clinics, and that is why we intend to create a medical ecosystem. Nestled on the border of St. George and the Virgin Parish of St. David, land has been allocated for the development of a medical campus. This campus will integrate a teaching hospital equipped with cutting-edge technology, specialist medical clinics, pharmacies, and modern retirement homes, but it is beyond staying healthy. We want to use health as the catalyst for creating a healthy economy. We intend to link healthcare with tourism and agriculture, taking advantage of our therapeutic environment and positioning our island as not only a place that offers top-notch care and medical procedures, but as a rejuvenation destination and a producer of bespoke medical products with our herbs and spices.
Grenada, we're inviting you to be a part of something meaningful. On Sunday, June 28th, as part of the Grenada Diaspora Homecoming 2026, we will host the National Spice Replanting Day. Across the island, volunteers will come together to plant 40,000 spice trees, helping to restore and protect a legacy that is rooted in who we are as Grenadians. But to make this possible, we need you. We need individuals, families, community groups, schools, churches, workplaces, and organizations to sign up and take part. This is your chance to contribute to something that will outlive the day itself, something that invests directly in Grenada's agriculture and keeps our Spice Eye legacy alive. So bring your energy, bring your island pride, and bring your love for country. Register now at homecoming.gd. Be a part of the National Spice Replanting Day on Sunday, June 28th. From roots to legacy, let's grow Grenada's future together.
Good job, Milo. Good boy. Hi everyone, I am Alyssa Bezinski, author of children's picture book Good Boy Milo. Stories have a special way of bringing us together, and that is why I am excited to invite you to be part of Read Across Grenada Day on Wednesday, June 24th, as part of Grenada Diaspora Homecoming 2026. This initiative brings volunteer readers into primary schools across Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique for the largest single-day celebration of reading. Whether you're visiting Grenada for homecoming or you live right here, you can help spark a lifelong love of reading in a child. Join us as we share stories, encourage young minds, and celebrate the power of literacy together. Let us inspire the next generation, one book, one classroom, and one child at a time. Visit homecoming.gd to RSVP and grenadaalumni.com to learn more. I hope to see you there.
My name is Martin Charles, and I am the Managing Director of Charles and Associates Project Services Inc., who is the contractor for the construction of this Nehal Bridge project. The project consists of the demolition of the existing bridge, which has already been carried out, the construction of the pedestrian walkway, the construction of the abutment walls, wing walls, and retaining wall. So far, these walls have already been constructed. We are now at the stage where we are preparing to pour concrete for the slab, the suspended slab, and as you can see in the background, gravel and concrete, the pump is already set up. We'll be pouring the concrete within the next half an hour.
My name is William Batista Cruz from Williams Design and Construction. The consultant who did the design for the bridge, and that I'm also doing the supervision during construction of the bridge. That is a bridge that was original was one stone arch bridge, and that was partially demolished, and then the decision was to replace the bridge.
Next major thing we have to do is to backfill behind one of the abutment walls. This would be a bit time consuming because we have to place granular fill against the wall, so that involves a lot of manual labor, so it's expected to take an extended period rather than having to backfill behind the wall with just regular fill.
In the final stage of the bridge, that should be completed by the beginning of August. We are about maybe 80% of the construction process. We don't see any problem that the bridge is going to be completed within that new date that is set to the beginning of August.
The Ministry of Agriculture White Potato Production Initiative is an OECS sub-regional project aimed at reducing Grenada's reliance on imported white potatoes, which in 2025 had an imported value of over 4.5 million EC dollars. The White Potato Production Initiative is part of the Ministry of Agriculture's food security drive and is being undertaken with the simultaneous cultivation of other crops such as sweet potatoes, pineapples, coconuts, carrots, and other vegetables. Other OECS countries like Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are already at an advanced stage in white potato production, with Dominica completely cutting the import of white potatoes during the first quarter of 2026. Grenada is now preparing to advance production for better output in 2027. The Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, ensuring food and nutrition security for all.
Agriculture. A nation must be able to feed itself. Economic development is important, but it is impossible without food security. Our vision includes the revival of our agricultural sector. Imagine a Grenada able to support its citizens with local produce. Imagine a Grenada that imports less. A Grenada with our spices replanted and production restored to pre-Hurricane Ivan levels by 2035 and 2045, respectively. Imagine a Grenada where we end the exportation of raw nutmegs and cocoa, and we convert all nutmegs, maces, pericarps, and cocoa into processed and manufactured food, spices, condiments, and chocolates. Imagine a Grenada that meets the demand for fresh, locally produced chicken and end our dependence on imported chicken by 2040. A Grenada where our sons and daughters embrace careers as fisherfolks and agro-processors as their first choice occupations. In this vision, our citizens leverage these sectors to establish flourishing small and medium-sized businesses, while our tourism and healthcare industries create a substantial demand for their products.
Breaking from the script, and that we did. So you saw some of the more recent achievements of government. As I said, we are celebrating Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell's 4th anniversary in office, so it is a special program, and we want to do something different. Continue to do different things today on today's set. We want to invite you, the callers or viewers, to please call in 423-3104 and share a reflection with us. It is 4 years, it is different. You might have had an experience, be it good, bad, or a suggestion. We have the lines now open for you to call us and share that reflection with us. 423-3104. We are awaiting your call, and remember, our featured guest will be on to share, because I know we are anticipating him sharing. He will be sharing, but as I said, it is a special program, so we are giving you an opportunity to share your reflections. 423-3104. Please call and share. What has your experience been? It has been 4 years of this government. We have a call online. Good evening, caller. Thank you so much for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Is it the PM is in the studio?
It is DMs with PM. We are breaking from script. It is the 4th anniversary of Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell as Prime Minister of Grenada. And we want to give you an opportunity before we hear from Prime Minister today as to your experience. Share a reflection with us.
Oh, well, I trust that what I'm going to say here now, you're going to be listening and you will get the message.
Yes, he will.
I have a problem. And I think when the NDC win, then I hope you listen to my language. When the NDC win the next election, I hope the Prime Ministers take a stand on this. The problem is these radio stations and them who are going competition, it's annoying the public. Every Saturday evening, and just playing tunes with bad water, one after the next, no regulation, nothing. I think the whole of Grenada, this is no color, is getting fed up of that behavior. I want you to do, Mr. Prime Minister, when you do win the next election, take a stand on that. And another one is, I want you to make sure, right, that you regulate the in the production of the radio stations and them, that 30% of the production must go towards the creative.
Okay.
You don't hear no pan music on those radio stations because this is not a must. You don't hear no calypso. Okay. That's why they sing about you all the time. Because they feel it's cool. If I sing about PM and I sing about Keith Mitchell, that's cool. I could say all kind of nasty thing about them too.
Okay.
Things cannot run the same way when the NDC win the next election. I'll come back.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate your suggestion and your reflection. And it is a special day, and our special guest is here, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell. Happy 4th anniversary, and it is okay for you to join us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. All right, good evening to Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Good evening to my host. It's a pleasure. I hope
Good
you didn't
evening,
think I
Prime
was
Minister.
abandoning you.
No, we know that you were not bailing on us. You don't run from us.
Very good. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And good evening to everyone who's on the live stream and on the radio stations listening. It's a pleasure to be here. And happy 4th anniversary to Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
Yes, it is. We have another reflection. So we broke from script today, and we're doing it different. It is a special program, and we have another call online here to share their reflection. Good evening, caller.
Good
Thank you
evening,
so much for
PM
calling.
and, host.
Good evening.
Yes, I want to congratulate you for coming back on your trip safe on the oil and gas and minerals, which we will have sooner or later to spread among the nation. And so that would be a great big one for the economy of Grenada. But one of the things that once you get that, if you can concentrate on the bus transportation, concentrate on our seniors and our people who are really need help, right? That's the disabled. Transportation on the bus is really a challenge. And if you can get a card for the seniors, you know, your grandparents and your family, when they get off and on the bus, will take the stress from the police and the drivers when they have this card. When it's raining or when until you get your bus, government bus service going, when it's raining, they have a challenge getting to the hospital and getting food. So this is a really concerning that. I would really like for you to look into the support of the seniors when it comes to get off and on the bus, and that's stressing the police and the drivers. And the second thing is that if you can make a negotiation with Grenlec, we're getting the bucket trucks to pick up all the wasted food. And, you know, we have a food security problem and process all these foods. You know, we could really have more food in our country when it comes to all the food being wasted, busting windshields on the side on the roads. Let's not think you're the greatest PM in the Lesser Antilles. And you have my blessing and my evening.
Thank you very much, caller, for the comments and the sentiments. We are working to improve the transportation system. It's a work in progress. We are working on some of the foundational issues, but we do want to get to the point where we have a regulated, fully accessible and affordable transportation system that can allow for our seniors, persons who are physically challenged, and our children to be able to travel safely throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. But it will take some time. As you know, the government itself does not own the public bus transportation system. All of the buses are owned by private owners, and we've begun some of the initial foundation work under the Transport Commission to transform this sector. But it will take a while. I envisage in the next 12 to 18 months we will see a lot more of the progress and the changes we need. And certainly even before coming into office, I talked about the need for us to use a lot more technology to be able to harvest our fruits and foods, and to be able to ensure that we could have storage of fruits, because they tend to be seasonal, so that we could have pulp and other basically raw materials to enhance our agro-processing. But it's important, I think, for me to emphasize that the government can't do those things. We really do need private sector. A lot more private initiatives to address some of those issues. We can certainly support by perhaps helping with the cold storage and so on. But we do need our young or not so young to take a bit more risk when it comes to our food security. And we can certainly encourage and facilitate some of those. So the initiative of, it doesn't have to be Grenlec, but I think any sort of hydraulic vehicle that could make the pruning, the picking of fruits more accessible would certainly help in that area.
All right. Thank you, Prime Minister, and thank you, caller, for your reflection. We have another call online. Good evening, caller. Thank you so much for calling.
Good evening, sister. How are you doing?
I am good, thank you.
And good afternoon to Mr. Prime Minister.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, Mr. Prime Minister. I want to say thanks to you. For years, Mr. Prime Minister, I've been Rasta, I've been all kind of person thinking Africa, in other words. And I have seen you open your door, open your hearts to Africa. You have acknowledged and recognized our Africanism. And that to me is one of your greatest achievements in terms of how I see you run things, you know. You open your doors to Africa, to our ancestors. In other words, you know, and that is remarkable. You wear your dashiki with conviction. You understand? You show your blackness, you show your identity. You understand? White people are running us out from Africa, from America and England and all those places. Those places, those people don't like us. Kamala see Africa, Kamala see India. She brought down Modi soon as she win the election. You understand? Ali in Guyana, they see India. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for seeing Africa. And I don't care what else you do or what you don't do. You see Africa, and that's your greatest achievement where I am concerned. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Caller. And you're certainly speaking with a conviction that says you believe in what you're saying. So I'm happy that we've been able to provide that satisfaction to you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, Prime Minister. We have another call online. Caller, good evening. Thank you so much for calling.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
I have two suggestions. And one of the suggestions, the first one I have is reference to dating and numbering government forms. And the reason why I'm suggesting that is because if you go online, for instance, a passport form, the form have no number. The person said that when they call, when they send the form in, they told them the form is outdated. Then call the other office, Prime Minister's office, Home Office, and they told them, oh, that form is no longer in existence. You have to get the new form after they already filled out the old form. If they have the forms numbered, say for instance, Citizens by Investment, you have a CF01 dated 6/2026, then that form expires and you put another form on, CF02 December 2026. Then people would know that these forms no longer exist and there is a new one out there. That's my first suggestion. They need to number the government forms so that people will know what form expire and what forms are updated. My next suggestion is SGU has dogs, and their dogs are always around, and I want to know why the government do not have dogs on the ports checking for drugs and guns and things in the barrels, and why they don't have dogs in the airports, so that when people come in, if you go to a lot of the different countries, you see they have their dogs. Would the government plan to have dogs in order to check these things? That's my question. And I also want to say you're doing a fantastic job and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, caller, for your recommendation. The first one is very valid, and I think throughout all government offices, from a processing point of view, it is something that we should certainly streamline and be very clear with the public when forms are no longer in use or have become outdated or have been replaced by a new form. So that's a very good suggestion, which I will take back to the cabinet and to all of the various government agencies to make sure that we can implement and improve that. And second, from a security point of view on the use of canines, it is something I think for the Commissioner of Police and his team in particular to treat with. Immigration Department, ports and airports. The fact that we do have a veterinary clinic here should give us an advantage in terms of the opportunity to retain and train canines that could assist us in this. I do know, obviously, the dogs would have to be trained specially, cared for specially, and so on. But it's certainly a useful suggestion, and it's something that I note and I will discuss with the Commissioner of Police and his team. So thank you for both recommendations and for the commendations.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, caller. We have another call online. Good evening. Thank you so much for calling.
Good evening, and good evening to the best Prime Minister in the whole entire world.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
I just want to commend you how great of a person you are. Continue doing a great job. Continue being the person you are. I know that you have a good heart. I'm listening to people. I'm on the ground. I'm listening to people. And mind you, we are doing great as an NDC and as our NDC government. And there is a lot of the NNP person doesn't want to see NNP. So we have to support both NDC and NNP and do what we have to do. I am a solid NDC and I will remain a solid NDC. Kudos to you. NDC reps, and that rally was a bust. I'm looking forward to the next one again, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, caller, and thank you for your comments. And yes, it's important to remember that while we at the National Democratic Congress in office and in government, that when it comes to governance and governing, we govern for the whole country, regardless of whether you are apolitical, whether you are political in that you support a particular party or not. So our policies and the use of taxpayers' funds are to benefit all of the citizens. And I think I pointed that out at the rally, that when we implement policies, we don't select and say, if you belong only to this party, you're benefiting from that. And there are countless examples of what we've done to ensure that all of Grenada can benefit. The pensioners, persons who benefit from the minimum wage, the regularization of teachers and other public officers, the WASH program, which is designed to make sure that anyone in a particular village who needs the bachelor toilet gets it, rather than handpicking, selecting people based on political affiliation. You know, whether it's the tuition for TAMCC and NULO, the elimination of the school fees and so on. These are all general policies designed to benefit the entire country, because that's the only way in which we can progress together, united. So thank you for that observation.
Thank you, Prime Minister, and thank you, caller, for your suggestion. We do have another caller online. Good evening, caller. Thank you for calling.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm calling concerning the ease of doing business for persons who may be bringing in things at the post office. And I'm especially speaking about myself as a creative and the fact that the government is putting emphasis on the creative economy. Now, many times when I bring in items for my craft, the categorization of the items sometimes seems to give some of the customs officers pause in terms of where those items should be categorized. And so I would like to suggest that, especially in terms of creatives and the items that creatives need in order to carry out their process, that maybe there should be a special categorization for these items. And as I said, I bring my items, and sometimes I am concerned about the customs officers when they have to thumb through that big book, and sometimes they can't find where the thing should be. So I don't know if maybe there could be a revising of the customs blue book or something of that nature to cater for persons who might be in the creative industry.
Well, thank you for the suggestion. I will take this back to the Grenada Office of the Creative Affairs and perhaps ask that they have a sit down with the Office of the Comptroller of Customs to make sure that there's a full appreciation of what are the items that are granted concessions and which are not, but also to make sure that the description of the items match perhaps modern descriptions, or that it fits within whatever categorization that they need to fit in. So thank you for this, and I will certainly ask the Office of the Creative Affairs to look into it.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, caller. And we will take a break now. We have broken from script for half of today's program. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more of DMs with PM.
Grenada, we're inviting you to be a part of something meaningful. On Sunday, June 28th, as part of the Grenada Diaspora Homecoming 2026, we will host the National Spice Replanting Day. Across the island, volunteers will come together to plant 40,000 spice trees, helping to restore and protect a legacy that is rooted in who we are as Grenadians. But to make this possible, we need you. We need individuals, families, community groups, schools, churches, workplaces, and organizations to sign up and take part. This is your chance to contribute to something that will outlive the day itself, something that invests directly in Grenada's agriculture and keeps our Spice Eye legacy alive. So bring your energy, bring your island pride, and bring your love for country. Register now at homecoming.gd. Be a part of the National Spice Replanting Day on Sunday, June 28th. From roots to legacy, let's grow Grenada's future together.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, today we have a different program. Not your usual lineup. Today it's all about you. It's celebratory. It is 4 years of Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell being the Prime Minister of Grenada, and we are making this program all about you. It is your opportunity to call, continue to call in and share your reflections, your suggestions. What are some of the things that you think can improve? So it's all about you today. So please call in 423-3104. Prime Minister, as we await the next call, it is 4 years for you. And look, we have a call coming in already. Let's take it, the call. Caller, good evening. Thank you so much for calling. Good evening.
Celebrate good times. Come on. NDCIs, my dear Prime Minister, I'm just here to say hats off to you and the entire team. We're celebrating 4 years stronger. We're stronger and we're going to get better and we're going for our second term. And I'm going to encourage you all to join us in St. Andrews Southeast because we are taking that seat. And we need all the help we can get to take St. Andrews Southeast for the National Democratic Congress. All the best to you as you continue the celebration. Blessings to all members of the organization. Blessings to you, Mr. PM. Take care.
Thank you very much, my dear. You certainly made us all smile in the studio with the singing. And yes, we very much want to make sure that the people of St. Andrews Southeast have proper representation. And we believe Senator David Andrew, while he was not successful the last time round as a debutant, certainly has an opportunity to do so, and we certainly will continue to ask the citizens who reside in the area, Telescope, Crowshoe, Cafe, Mount Fan, etc., to certainly give him the support, because we think even though he did not win the seat on the last occasion, he certainly has been doing, in my view, a stellar job in representing and pushing the interests of the citizens of who live in that region. And we certainly think he will make an amazing member of Parliament. I think it's clear to me that the time has come for a change in representation because I think the people of that constituency deserve better.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We do have another call online. Good evening, caller. Thank you for calling.
Pleasant good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, dearly beloved Prime Minister.
Good evening.
First, I want to thank God. I want to thank God for you. Secondly, I want to thank God for your grandma, who made your mother. So thank you, Auntie Janice, for making a son like the Honorable Dickon Mitchell. I want to say it's been to me, as a senior citizen, from the countryside to St. David, well, which is still country, I just want to say I'll be there, thick and thin, no matter what it takes. My last sweat, blood, and tears will be in Grenada, and I will walk along with you as long as I have breath. God bless you. Thank you for the tremendous work you have done, and we continue to rally around you to see a better Grenada for the future of this island. God bless you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Auntie Sherry. We appreciate the support, the prayers, and the love, and thank you for obviously acknowledging my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother actually turned 95 on the 19th of June, so June's a lucky month for me. My son is also born in June, and I have quite a few of the family members who celebrate birthdays in June as well. I think Randall Robinson also, our Deputy Chairman, also celebrates his birthday in June as well.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, Prime Minister. It is 4 years, and as we said, it's about the public, but we should also hear from you. 4 years ago, I did an interview with you when you were entering politics on another media outfit. When we had an opportunity to speak about you leaving law, going into politics, what does this mean? It is now 4 years later. How has that journey been for you personally as the leader?
It's certainly been very fast. The 4 years have flown by. It seems literally like yesterday this process started, but it also, I think, demonstrates why we need to act and implement as quickly as we can whenever we have the opportunity, because the time doesn't wait on anyone. But it has been a very gratifying and rewarding experience. I am happy that I've done it. I have no regrets whatsoever. I think I've been quite fortunate to have the support and the love of many ordinary citizens who've really been the reason for me getting involved in the first place, an opportunity to serve. And then second, the fact that the public, an unknown, was prepared to take a chance and a risk on me was something that I still don't take lightly. I want to thank them for entrusting me with their love, the responsibility that they bestowed on me and my colleagues. And I hope that as we reflect on the 4 years that they are satisfied. I'm sure that we have areas for improvement, but we certainly continue to look forward to walking this journey together with the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Whatever you say of us, we are reflective of the Grenadian society. Our strengths, our weaknesses, our shortcomings, we are all products of Grenada. Most of us, if not all of us, have all grown up in Grenada, been educated in Grenada. Some of us might have traveled for education purposes, etc., or lived abroad briefly. But to a large extent, we are the products of Grenada. So, the type of leadership we try and provide is leadership that is reflective of Grenada and reflective of the aspirations of the citizens of Grenada. And we hope that we can leave Grenada a better place than we found it.
All right. If you were to describe, so we ask about you personally. Now, let's speak about the government's journey. It's a team effort, and whatever policies and programs that government implement, it impacts the people.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the government's journey so far?
Well, I think we start with putting people first. And, just on my way here, I was looking at a clip with a CEO of a bank, and they asked him about the success of the bank, and he talked about the people and the process. And essentially, that is what it is. The government is in the context of Grenada, a huge entity, the entity that employs the most persons, and the entity that impacts the public and the goodwill of the nation the most. So for us, you have to start with who are our stakeholders, and the stakeholders, the public, the citizens. And so what we've tried to do is focus a lot on how can we enhance citizen welfare, how can we enhance people welfare. And so you'd see that most of our policies over the last years have focused almost fanatically on improving the well-being of people. And that's why whether it's issues like the minimum wage, regularization, pensions, the WASH program, the creative affairs, the tuitions, all of this is about citizens. It's not about things, right? You can build things, you can build roads, you can build physical buildings for schools or health centers, etc. But ultimately, you still have to focus on the people, because if there's that disconnect and if it's not serving the needs of the people, or if it's not impacting the needs of the people, there's no point in doing it. So you would see even when it came, people forget, for instance, that we, on coming into office, have been paying our nurses $500 per month every month, that we paid our doctors $1,000 every month since we've been in office. This is about people and about impact on them and their lives. The police officers, whose pay and grade was not done since 1994, we've been able to do that. The thousands of public officers who had no pension plan whatsoever, we've been able to create a pension system and to allow for them to contribute and for the government to contribute so that they have a pension plan. So when we talk about putting people first, this is not a fancy slogan, because ultimately a country is really a collection of people defined in a geographic space, and therefore we've tried to make sure that we live our motto of putting people first. And I think that is really the journey that we want to be able to continue on. That is why we are talking about the People's Manifesto, because we didn't have the time last time around to put us in a position where we could have really consulted and have the people co-author the People's Manifesto with us. We had to some extent scramble because of the limited time we have and the internal reorganization of the party. Now that I think we are in a better place from a political organization point of view, we want to make sure that the people of Grenada help to co-author and write what should the state do in terms of the policies and the programs that it implements for the next 5 years. And that is one of the key reasons why we've come up with the People's Manifesto, so that the citizens of the country play an integral part in writing the policy and the programs that the government should pursue over the next 5 years.
Right. Since you've started on it, expound on the People's Manifesto.
Right. So, well, I've said what the concept is in terms of how we're going to get the people to write the People's Manifesto. For the months of July and August, we'll probably break in the first weeks of August, obviously, because that's the climax of Carnival. We intend as much as possible to go to all of our polling divisions throughout the length and breadth of Grenada and to have meetings and engagements with the citizens and to ask them to tell us. It's really a listening exercise first and foremost. Tell us what you think should be done. You can say it orally, you can come with your written suggestions and recommendations. We are going to put all of this together, sort of categorize it as to the frequent recurring themes on the various sectors. We're going to synthesize it and then put it back together in a document and come back to the people and say, having gone through this listening exercise with you, this is what you said to us, and we're presenting it back to you to have you validate it and to say, yes, this is what we've said, and then we present it as the People's Manifesto from a national perspective, and then we give a commitment to the public that we will therefore implement what the people have asked for over the next 5 years.
Okay. The usual phased approach. We build as though we climb a staircase.
Yes.
All right. So we have another call online. Prime Minister, we're going to break again to the calls. Good evening, caller. Thank you so much for calling. Please share.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
And congratulations to the Prime Minister and his team. I know every government that comes into the country in Grenada here is trying to do something to better the position of Grenadians. And they come in and they leave a landmark. I know you're trying to do this hospital and so on, but I am thinking that alongside, if you could, in the manifesto, do something about water. No, we have lines being repaired and so on, but we have no water to put into the lines right now, because it's a thing since I'm a little child happening in Grenada over the years. Every time rain falls, there's no rain, there's no water, there's rain, there's no water. So I'm thinking that we should have a super dam or several huge dams. This thing about the storage, I don't think it can cut it. But we need a dam where you can further the agriculture in Grenada. You could have untreated water going to areas where they have prime farmers, and they can use their card and get water, and when the amount of water expires, it cuts off, and then they buy more water. They wouldn't have to be using fuel and all of that to pump and stuff. It would be gravitation and so on, and you would have enough water, because I think water would be the blood of a country. In the future, just like they're fighting over fuel, water would be a problem. And I think we should think ahead and let it be a landmark, access for Grenada, that we have water, potable water, and we have constant water. Because as soon as the rain falls, it blocks up the dam and so on. Let's just do something. It's too many years. And I died just now, and I wouldn't even see that type of thing. So, it's just something you could put into your manifesto. That's just one thing for today. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for the suggestion, and I agree with you on the need to make sure that the capacity to have a constant, clean, affordable water supply to the nation is a critical infrastructure need. Obviously, I'm not an engineer, hydraulic water engineer, so from the actual solution that we need to get that is something that would require engineering expertise. But I certainly know that NOASA is committed to improving, and the government is also committed to improving the reliability, accessibility, and the quality of water that is needed. Obviously, those things don't happen overnight. It has to be built up over a period of time. Some of the reforms that are taking place right now, even with the laying of pipes and so on, are designed to get water to the parts of the country where you don't have access to it from those areas where there is an abundant supply of water. So when we think of places like Concord, where the waterfall is, I don't think there's any, even in a dry season, with the water supply, it is really the question of getting the water to the area. So part of the pipe laying and so on is designed to address this. The storage tanks that are being built is also designed to address this. But I do agree it's not just about water for domestic consumption. We have to have water for agricultural and industrial use as well. There are other options like desalination plants, but those things are expensive. They would require a lot of energy. Energy in Grenada is also expensive, so that may not be the right engineering solution. So the engineers will have to guide us, but from a commitment point of view, it is certainly something we are committed to and we'll be happy to have in a manifesto once we can find the right engineering solutions that are affordable to ensure that we have a more reliable and consistent supply, as well as improvement in the quality of water for the country.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, caller. We have another caller online. Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening, Mr. PM and the host. Mr. PM, you have run this country with distinction for the last 4 years, going into the 5 years. My question to you, all right, when you came into politics, there was an ACR saying that you inexperienced, you're not a politician, you jump from the sky, but you prove everybody wrong, all right? So, Mr. PM, my question would be, what did you take from that 4 years of running Grenada?
We seem to have lost the caller.
Did we?
Even though you said that you want...
Oh, no. We seem to have a connection. Okay, I think we lost that caller. Sorry, we seem to have a connection issue there. I hope you do call back. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Prime Minister, and good evening, Aruna.
Good evening.
I am a first-time caller to the DM with PM.
Good evening,
First,
sir.
I would
Welcome.
like to thank. Hello?
Good evening and welcome.
Yes, good evening. I first would like to congratulate you and your government, your NDC government, for such a great achievement with your transformation agenda in Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I believe you are doing a very good job. And we as Christians, we believe that God sent you in this time to deliver Grenada from the reckless hands or the reckless influence of the NNP. We believe that. As Christians, we also believe that God is the one who take down leaders, and God is the one who raises up leaders, right? But my question is, why does the Parliamentary Election Office, they reject Grenadian citizens from registering to vote? That's my question, and please answer this question.
Well, I would answer. I don't know that I could say why the registration office is doing it. If a particular person goes to an office and they're told there's an issue with their ability to register, then they should certainly report the matter. They can certainly report it to the supervisor of elections. They can also report it to MPs or caretakers or other politicians, because I would need to know what the specific reasons were given for why the registration could not take place. So, for example, if you go, there are documents you need to bring, for example, a birth certificate or a passport, obviously to prove your citizenship. They could also ask you for proof of residence, where you live, because people are registered based on a polling division. So, for example, if you've been living in Grandlands, Grenadians move, across the country. If you perhaps was born in St. David and say you first registered in St. David, but now you live in Grandlands, you could actually, if you wanted to, obviously transfer and be registered in Grandlands, but they would need proof that you are a resident in Grandlands, so they can ask you for proof of that. So it will depend on the reasons given, but generally once someone is 18 and they have the appropriate citizenship documents and proof of residence so that they could be registered in a particular polling division, there should be no reason for them not being registered.
Okay, thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, caller. We do have another caller online. Good evening, caller.
Yes, sorry for that. I'm in the diaspora and the weather is kind of bad up here too, so that's why we get cut off. Yeah, Mr. PM, what I was asking you now is that what did you learn, or what experience did you gain within the 4 years that you lead Grenada? And then I know, what would you take going into the next 10 years, and based on what you learn from the 4 years? And my other question was towards the local government. When would we see local government in Carriacou? And I want to know that after Carriacou get the local government, would you use that like a model for the 7 parishes in Grenada? Like every parish might have like their own local government, so you don't put too much strain on you as somebody who is leading.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller, for this. I think, so this is a personal response and not necessarily something that has been settled, I think, at the cabinet level yet, because the Attorney General's office and particularly the member for local government in Carriacou, Minister Tevin Andrews, have been working on this, so I can't give you a definitive response. But for me, from an aspiration point of view, I really would like to see local government start in Carriacou within the next 12 to 18 months. I actually do believe in local government because I think it helps us train. So to the point about lessons in governance, the truth is almost everyone who's entered public office in Grenada in the last 40 years have little or no training in public policy making and in public policy implementation. Most of us are either coming from private backgrounds or from having just worked as public officers. But that in and of itself doesn't give you any expertise, insight, or training into public policy making and into public, and more importantly, public policy implementation. And so what we are facing is a situation where if people do not understand the consequences of public policy, or what is public policy, and how you use state resources to impact the vast majority of the citizens, you end up in a situation where everyone is learning on the job in real time, all the time. And some of the mistakes could be enormous and consequential for the country. But by having local government, it actually gives an opportunity at a very early stage for persons to have exposure to public policy making. Why do you put a drain where you put it? Why do you put street lights where you put it? Why do you build roads where you build them? Why do you collect garbage? How do you collect garbage? What's the cost of collecting it? Where do you put landfills? Where you don't put landfills? So that we can actually be able to train up citizens in governance in general at a local level. How do you mobilize people? How do you unite people? How do you respond to their needs? How are you empathetic? How do you represent? How do you advocate for them at a local, village, parish level, so that by the time you get to the national level, you would have had exposure and training to this, right? We have, for example, youth parliamentarians that happens now, and I absolutely laud and support the program, but it's mostly with advocacy. Advocacy is one thing. Implementation of actual policies, understanding budget and resource allocation and management and managing people's expectations, consultation, developing the policy, implementing it is a completely different kettle of fish, and it's a challenge that the Caribbean faces and developing countries face in general. So that's one of the advantages of local governments. And then second, as in our case, both as a Prime Minister and as a Minister and as an MP, I deal with the range of things that I deal with stretches you beyond capacity. So you have to deal with everything from someone saying the mango tree has fallen and dropped on a line, or the mango tree is blocking the street light from shining, to foreign policy, to national security issues, to education, to health, you name it, to infrastructure planning, and all of those things. And so you end up in a situation where people are stretched. And when people are stretched, what you have is outcomes, because as human beings, there's only so many things you can deal with. And particularly from a long-term point of view, because you are reacting to so many fires day to day, it reduces the ability of those in office to think and plan long-term. And when countries don't think and plan long-term, or you don't have plans actually, because you're spending so much time just responding to things, you cannot build the systems and the processes that will improve the country. So from a citizen, what may seem obvious doesn't get done because there's no one planning for it. So we could take the water, for example, right? If you don't have people to plan and recognize that, for example, the bulk of the population is moving from one parish to another, then you can't plan for the schools, you can't plan for the roads, you can't plan for the education or the healthcare, because all you're dealing with is local issue. Somebody saying they want help with their child here, or they want help with someone who's sick here, or they want help with a bathroom and toilet, or they want help with this or that. So what happens is all of your time is spent on those individualized things, but you don't have the time to step back and see what's the big picture. We can take policing, for example, right? If you're dealing with just the day-to-day issues about crime, then you may not realize, for example, okay, that the vast majority of people have moved to a particular location. There's no police station there because no one is planning, right? Or that the prison, which we've had forever, in the same location, which is hundreds of years old now, simply is no longer fit for purpose. So there's no plan, there's no budget, and although we talk that the prison needs to be improved and needs to be changed, it will never happen because you're spending so much time on this. So this is one of the issues that we need to be able to address in Grenada. And I think if we do that structural change, it should enhance the quality of governance in general, and the direction in which the country goes, as well as the quality of people we get in public office. Because hopefully you get earlier exposure. It allows our young people in particular to perhaps have more exposure at the local government level that could allow them to then get into, in a sense, national governance later on in life, having had that first experience.
Right, great. Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, caller. We are going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we continue with DMs with PM.
I am Kevon George, attached to the Ministry of Infrastructure, and at present we are standing on what we call the Antoine's Hill Road Development Project. It's a project that connects the Pedmota Main Road to Antoine Hill up at the top. After listening to the complaints from the persons within this area, the various families and so, the Minister of Infrastructure saw it fit to have this as a project that should be done. We listened to persons that said over 25 plus years they have been pleading and trying to get proper concrete structure within this area and proper control for the water that runs within this area, yeah? So persons say that they were using two shoes, they had to park vehicles lower down, they were traversing through mud and track, and children traversing back and forth. And after listening to all this, we were instructed to get it done and get it done to the best of our ability. This road that we are looking at presently, it was what I would call a track, yeah? There was like two strips of concrete just about the first 120 feet of this road where vehicles used to try to traverse and get at their home, but most vehicles used to park at the lower end of this road. However, At present, we have a project which includes over 590 feet of concrete pavement with some slipper drains, over 450 feet slipper drains, and another 300 plus feet box drains, and just about 2 cross culverts. It also includes some access to the various properties along the roadway, and this is what we are doing presently on this site. At infrastructure, we put people first.
So it is a special edition. So we're going just a little bit past our usual 7 o'clock. But as we wrap up, Prime Minister, it is 4 years, it is celebratory. But for you, I think it's a lot more. The experience, the journey, the lessons. And I remember asking you that years ago about your legacy when you started. Then you did not have one, but you had plans as to what you think you would want it to be. Now that you have 4 years down, what is the legacy you hope this administration is building? Because it's not yet legacy.
I would say sectorally improvement in healthcare, which is clearly something we've placed a lot of emphasis on, and it is something that will obviously be ongoing. You will never get to a point where it's completed or satisfied, so it's going to be ongoing. But I think certainly we are putting enormous effort, resources, and time into the transformation of healthcare in Grenada, not just building Project Polaris. I think that's one. But that transformation of healthcare has to start with the education of the population and making sure that we are healthy and we live healthier lives. So that would be certainly something that I think we can lay the foundations for us to build upon. The transformation of, I may even want to say the revolutionizing of the education system. And a lot more emphasis has to go upon in this, because the education system has to be fit for purpose, fit for the country. It can't just be a historic education system that is no longer relevant to the times and the needs of the people. And that education system has to also talk about the kind of citizen we produce. I'm talking about the morality, the ethics, the recognition that you have to work hard for everything you want, and you're not going to build a great nation by talking about the government. It takes you, me, us. And I think that is important from an advocacy point of view, from a formal education point of view, from an informal education point of view, and from a spiritual education point of view. Because we can pray from morning to night. If we don't work, we will not see the benefit of what it is we are asking for. So for me, it's important. The transformation is really about the transformation of our people. If our people are transformed, then it's quite easy to manipulate the physical environment and the physical world. It's easy to build roads and schools and those sort of things. It's easy to start businesses and solve problems, but it requires us to educate ourselves about ourselves. It requires us to educate ourselves about our environment and about the right attitudes for success. So for me, those are the 3 things that we work on, and if we work on that, it's all people related, then we can certainly lay the foundation for transforming Grenada for the next 25 to 30 years.
30 years. Great. Prime Minister, I think if we end today's program without congratulating our CPA students who have now, transitioning to secondary, and those who are leaving, because we have a number of young people that are leaving. So,
well, certainly I'll start with those who are transitioning. I wouldn't say leaving from secondary school or from TMRSU Community College or from NULO into the next phase of their life. I want to say congratulations to all of you. Keep up the hard work. Enjoy the journey, because you could never relive those moments. To their parents, guardians, well-wishers, supporters, teachers, and principals who've guided them along the way. Congratulations to you as well. I'm sure many of you are feeling elated and proud of the achievements of your students and the journey that they've been on. And for those who are moving from primary to secondary school and who would have sat the CPA exam, congratulations again to you. I'm sure you're feeling proud. I'm sure you've made your parents and your families proud. I still want to end on this note, because sometimes we think education is an exam or a test. It is not. And regardless of how you performed, remember that there's always the opportunity to continue learning, to continue improving, and to simply see this as part of the journey of your life. So even if you were not as successful as you wished or you hoped, just simply use it as an opportunity to learn and to grow and to continue persevering. So congratulations to the parents, congratulations to the guardians, the teachers, the principals, and most importantly, our students.
Yes. It is also International Public Service Day, so to all our public officers, which includes you.
Yes, well, certainly happy International Public Officers Day. I know they've been celebrating with various events throughout, and the government is, and certainly the policymakers in the cabinet happy to support our public officers. I think a lot of the policies we've supported and initiated are designed to actually give our public officers more competence, more capacity, and more gratification from their jobs. Despite all of the criticisms and concerns, and you will always have that, I've certainly enjoyed and I've learned a lot from our public officers, and I look forward to continue working with them.
All right, great. Thank you, Prime Minister. 4 years down, how much more to go?
We'll see.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much.
So that's where we conclude for today. It was a different program. We hope you enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it. Very, very bright suggestions. I think you have contributed. We do appreciate all that has happened today. I'm going to join now in just saying congratulations to all our students. My daughter, I know, is basking in her glory this evening. As she is getting ready to transition. And to all the others, you did great. Continue being great. Every day is another day to be great, right? So that's where we conclude for today. So to all our listeners on all different stations, we say thank you so much for being here with us. Power FM, Star FM, We FM, GBN, Fusion FM, Vibes FM. Those on the Facebook page, YouTube channel, thank you so much for always being here, GIS. I am your host, Oslin Crosby, saying goodbye. But again, we say congratulations. Happy anniversary to Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell and his team. 4 years down. How many more to come? Time will tell. So that's it for DMs and PM. To all of you, we say thank you again and have a good evening.